we're going to talk about what happens when you eat and when you fast. I'm going to try to keep this really simple, just give you the basics. So when you're eating, you have glucose in the blood, you have amino acids in the blood, you have fatty acids in the blood. And so you have this increase in insulin. So the first thing that happens is these nutrients are going to feed this cell. Insulin opens the door of the cell, so these nutrients can go in there. Now, the extra is going to turn into something called glycogen. So glycogen is the storage of glucose molecules. So we have a bunch of glucose molecules strung together and connected as a storage for glucose. In order for this to be stored, you need potassium. So potassium is really, really important. Also, you retain water when you store glycogen. So for every molecule of glycogen, you have 3 to 3.8 times the amount of water. So if you're trying to lose weight and you're doing carbohydrates, especially refined carbohydrates, realize it's not just the weight of those carbohydrates. It's also all the water you're retaining that you're holding inside your glycogen storage unit. So people that eat carbs retain a tremendous amount of water. Now you have about 100 grams of glycogen in your liver and about 500 grams of glycogen in your muscle. Now anything extra, it's going to spill over and it's going to be converted into this thing called fat. And eventually it's going to accumulate inside the liver and then spill off outside the organs and glands as ectopic fat. And then this will also cause insulin resistance and decrease your capacity to store glucose as glycogen. So if you can envision the liver filled with fat and it can't hold glycogen, then it just gets stored as fat. So you're really going to have a lot of blood sugar issues if you continue to do carbs, because you're not going to have a lot of glycogen to run off of, and you're going to be hungry all the time because you keep tapping out of that small amount of stored sugar that you have. When we go to fasting, everything works in reverse. We stop eating, we have decreased glucose, we have decreased insulin, and the body's going to use the excess glucose out of the blood. So if you have high levels of sugar in the blood, the body's going to go after that first to bring that down. Then it's going to use up your glycogen reserve in your liver, not necessarily the muscles. The muscle glycogen rarely changes, even if you don't consume glycogen, because your body will then make glycogen from non-carbohydrate sources, like fat, for example. So you're going to use up your glycogen in your liver, which takes about 6 to 12 hours. And after that occurs, then the body's going to start to make ketones out of your fat. Now, it's not just going to be all ketones. A good portion of your fat is going to be broken down into fatty acids, and you're going to use that as energy. About 40% of that is going to be used for your ketones within 12 to 72 hours. And of course, with time and more fasting, you're going to be more and more adapted into the state of ketosis. Now realize that a small portion of your body needs carbs. Certain parts of the brain, the red blood cells, the eye, a certain part of the kidney. But no problem, you don't need to consume glucose for that. Your body will make the glucose from your own fat, and it'll make it from ketones. As you continue, your body's going to go through this adaptation, this very efficient system of cleaning up old damaged proteins and recycling even microbes. It's called autophagy. And during this process, a lot of therapeutic things are going to happen. You're going to have regrowing of damaged brain tissue. You're going to have improvement in repair in heart tissue. And at the cellular level, your immune system is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. There you have it. That's the simple version of what happens when you eat and when you fast.
Hey, we're back.
With another amazing recipe.
No grains, no sugar, totally keto. There's no suffering in keto.
Absolutely not, Karen.
And it's an immune system builder.
Absolutely. You have to check this out.
I think you should hurry up, watch the recipe, and make it yourself. It's just so easy to be keto.
But is it simple?
It's super simple. We hope you enjoy. making it as much as we are enjoying eating it.